Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us. I'll now call to order the City of Kelowna regular council meeting for Monday, March 16th, 2020. I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered today on the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Syilx Okanagan people. This meeting is open to the public, and all representations to council form part of the public record. A live audio and video feed is being broadcast and recorded by Castanet, and a delayed broadcast is shown on Shaw Cable. Before I get any further into the agenda, I would just like to make a statement on behalf of council in regards to the situation that continues to develop in our community and of course throughout the world. Certainly we know that there's a lot of anxiety in our community and around the world about the COVID-19 virus. I assure you that our top priority is the health, safety, and well-being of the public and our employees. We have and will continue to follow the advice of the BC Medical Health Officer with regards to city services and facilities. Recognizing the situation can change quickly, even hourly, as we've seen earlier today, the current message from the BC health officials is that if we all take the necessary precautions now, we can minimize the effect on ourselves and our families and not overload our healthcare system. That's the goal here, flattening the curve so that we have no spikes in the number of people needing urgent medical attention. That goal is behind every measure the City of Kelowna is taking right now, and it's what I urge every organization to follow. I want to stay in my lane here and not speak on behalf of the public health system, so I urge everyone to pay attention to the directions and recommendations from the medical health officers and the Ministry of Health. That's so important. The latest direction from the medical health officer just a few hours ago concerns canceling gatherings of more than 50 people, and we will work with our staff and contractors to comply with that order. The city has a critical incident response team that takes actions like this based on the most up-to-date information from public health officials. Contingency planning is happening in case a large number of staff become ill or are self-isolating. These plans will maintain essential services such as water treatment, wastewater management, and the emergency services our citizens rely on. So far, we've taken action on a number of provincial health orders and recommendations. Those actions include what I mentioned about gatherings of more than 50 people. We're also requiring 14 days of self-isolation for staff returning to Canada from other countries. We're encouraging staff and the public to use remote services where possible, and suspending all international business travel and non-essential domestic air travel for staff members. Health authorities and other levels of government are evaluating what next steps are needed every day, and the city will follow their lead. Most city facilities are remaining open at this time, based on the direction of Dr. Bonnie Henry, the provincial health officer. Dr. Henry is encouraging social distancing, rigorous hygiene, and self-isolation if you are feeling sick. We are encouraging all citizens to use remote options for city services if available. Enhanced screening measures have been in place at YLW for a number of weeks for the safety of customers. Under the direction of the Public Health Agency of Canada, those screening measures have been expanded and updated as the COVID-19 situation has evolved. Again, just a few hours ago, new orders were provided by the federal government about flights. Canada will be closing its borders to foreign travelers with limited exceptions for Canadian citizens. YLW domestic flights and flights from the US, Mexico, and the Caribbean are permitted to continue at this time. Everyone can stay informed about the latest news on what's happening at the airport by visiting its website, ylw.kelowna.ca, and stay informed of what the city is doing by visiting our website at kelowna.ca. The main things I want to get across to our residents are the following. To be vigilant, but also remember the risk is low if you take the necessary precautions. To follow the advice of healthcare professionals about proper hygiene, social distancing, self-isolation if you're sick, and to reconsider non-essential travel. And finally, to take care of one another. Be a good neighbor, a good colleague, and be supportive of those who might need to isolate themselves in the weeks ahead. I know our community will rise to the occasion like we have in other challenging times. And I thank everyone for their understanding and patience as some goods and services are disrupted in the short term.